Okay, here I'm making a video on changing the battery on the Garmin 300XL GPS. Take my data card out, which my little plastic handle broke off. Anyway, I'm doing this video kind of in the wrong order. I've already replaced the battery at this point, but I was going to make a video here just to show you how to do it, and I can put it together, hopefully help other guys out who want to fix the battery or put a new battery in. So there's these screws here for this top cover. These screws got to come out. And two screws in the top. That's the top cover. And this will just pop off. Okay. And then there's two screws here on the back for the bottom cover. And then that cover would just lift off, pull it out from underneath the front. Then you get the bottom cover. Now, there are 4 screws to take off the front part of the unit, the display and all its buttons. First of all, there is a small on the volume on-off knob. There is a small Allen key that you have to, or Allen screw that you have to remove. See, there's your small Allen key. Once that's removed, you can take these 4 black screws out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's these connectors inside that can just be gently unplugged, and that piece just comes right off there. You can see all the connectors there. The battery is way down inside in there. Now, because there's this cover, that's this shield cover that's on, and it just pops off gently. Now at this point, I've already made the video on replacing the battery, so I'll piece it together, but there's a screw there for this board which needs to come out. There's a screw here that needs to come out, and there's this little screw right here. There's a little thermistor that is connected to the board that's needs to be removed, otherwise that board won't come out. There's also this screw and this screw that need to be removed. You need to take this little shield off with these small screws so that this little ribbon or this cable here can be unplugged and out of the way, so that you can lift this board out of here more easily. You have to lift this little clip and unplug this ribbon cable. Sometimes you might want to take a little piece of tape and tape it over the edge just to help hold it out of the way to get this board out of there. And then the very tricky part, which requires some soldering skills, is to remove the solder off of these 5 pins, because once you get this all unscrewed, this is the only thing that holds this board in, and you need to remove it to get at the battery, which is also soldered onto the board here in 3 places, and you'll see that in the rest of the video.
And that's the big problem.
So right here, these spots, there's 5 pins
Right.
that need to get desoldered there.
Correct.
For that
Pull
whole
that
board
board
to take out
You
after
got
you
it.
take out the screws.
Yes.
Okay. Good. And there was this screw to take out. This screw to take out. Take on, detach this, lift this little side clamp to take out that ribbon cable.
Yeah.
And unplug this little cable off the board there carefully. And it's best to remove this piece that goes shield over this so that this cable can come back far enough. So then, and then also where the and once you get the board out, there is this one here
Beside it.
and this one here, those two for the one side of the battery, and then there's that one right there for the other side of the battery that you have to carefully desolder and get out. For this new battery, because this is the new one, right?
Yep.
Oh,
Whoops.
this is the new battery that goes in. Or did you still have the old one, or?
No,
Okay, so lift that one out.
Yeah.
And we've already taken out, and then you have to carefully undo the red wire there,
Power connection.
the power connection, and then move your hand there, and then there's this ribbon cable here to
Not completely necessary to remove, but it makes it easier to service the board.
and that this other cable right here to disconnect. And when
Careful with the thermistor.
yeah, Careful with this little piece here. And when you desolder, most likely this battery will be glued down, and you'll need to probably carefully pry at the end with one pin, so you can pry the glue off and get it loose from the solder at the same time. And then you can do the other end, but you have to do that desolder from the back side.
So
That's to wick up the excess solder if your little solder sucker or blower tool doesn't work.
Correct. I'm just going to clean that hole out a little bit more there.
It's a little fiddling with the battery sometimes, that one.
Okay, and the one pin there. Okay, see there's 3. Okay, now we'll solder it in place, right?
Yeah. You gotta go slower, Gary, otherwise I can't see.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so I'm going to grab the solder. And you have to use a proper solder station for this sort of thing. Okay, and that, and that, and that. Done. Battery's in place. And that's it. The battery's installed. So now, the hard part, carefully installing. Okay?
So there's this piece right here that needs to go to get desoldered ever so carefully, and those pins here, I'm bringing this over a little bit. And those pins there, 5 pins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they have to line up. So, Gary, you got to clean the pins there.
Yeah. Just so they don't bind when we slide it through the printed circuit board. But they got to align perfectly.
We need some better lighting.
Cleaning the burrs out. Okay. So we can see right through the hole. Makes it exponentially easier to push it onto the regulator chip. So now what we've got to do is connect the wiring all back up. First goes on the power connection. And then this header plug.
Is that on there? Tight. And make sure this one's in a straight line there, I think.
Yeah. And then this guy here. Very tight fit. You could turn that around like that. Can you see that okay? Push it in properly, make sure it latches. Okay, and that plug is in place. Okay, now the tricky part.
Oh, yeah, watch here.
Yeah. It's going to be tricky. Oh, shoot. This wire keeps getting in my way here. Okay, good. Okay. This is the hard part. We've got to make sure that this all lines up with the regulator chip.
Yep.
Of course, you can't see through the capacitor. See that? You see the pins on it?
Yep.
I got to try and line them all up again now.
Well,
so that's going to be a problem for a bit. Make sure these pins are nicely cleaned off too. Okay, they have to line up perfectly, you see?
Yep.
There it goes, just plugged in. Okay, what I suggest we do...
Put a screw in?
Well, this one here at least, okay?
Well, there's those two.
These two, but just a sec. Yeah, let's put a couple of the 440 screws in. Oh, there we go.
So we put a couple of those screws in.
There you go.
Okay, all soldered back together. And that screws in. That screw is in.
Sorry.
That cable is clipped in. Now we got to clip this cable, that one in.
Okay.
Are you got to get your
Yeah.
And there's this little screw right here. There's a little thermistor that is connected to the board that's needs to be removed, otherwise that board won't come out. There's also this screw and this screw that need to be removed.
So we'll put the GPS cover back on. And we got the tiny little screws for that. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11 of those little screws for that case.
Yeah.
And that just, you take that off and that helps you get that cable
That's correct.
out of your way.
Yeah. Back over it, right. That just snaps on.
Yeah, it kind of clips on kind of carefully, but
We got
to put this front piece on.
okay.
So there's the front. Now the trick with the front is you have to line up. Yeah, that's all fine. You have to line up this.
With the volume control.
Yeah.
And of course the pins on
pins.
these. Yeah, so careful now. Okay, best put it on the table here. Okay, and there we go. Oops.
Yeah.
I got one side in.
You have to get those pins all
Lined up properly, yeah.
Yeah, and it just
Seems a little high to me.
no, it's
Okay. Here it goes. Gentle. Patience is the word, right?
And there's these 4 little black
Screws
screws.
that hold it in place, right? Okay.
You got your 1mm Allen key for that.
No. Well, it is. It just fits, I think. I'll just slide it down. I just can't get enough. There it goes. Okay. Perfect. It's in. Okay, 2 more black screws.
Yep.
You just got to get
And there's
under
the 2
cover.
black ones there, and the 2.
And 2 of the regular silver. Yeah. Pretty good, eh? Changed out a 25-year-old battery. These things. And the almanac is what basically tells the GPS where the satellites are.
Yep.
Or basically by estimate, right? Now, of course, with WASP stuff, this is obsolete because now anything that's WASP listens to all of the different kinds of satellites that are out there. Okay.
Yep.
Whether it be the Americans doing high altitude nuclear tests, burn the thing out. The EMP pulse got it. Look at that. And no extra screws, you see?